Gather round, dear listeners, for tonight we delve into the abyss where nightmares are born. From ghostly encounters to chilling tales of the unknown, these stories will leave you questioning the boundaries between reality and terror. So brace yourself, because in this video, we're unveiling the dark. 15. The Vanishing Hitchhiker. The old Chevy pickup rumbled down the deserted highway, its headlights cutting through the thick fog. Inside, two friends shared the worn leather seat, their laughter echoing the truck's every bump. But their merriment turned to unease when they picked up a hitchhiker. Wrapped in a threadbare coat, he looked like a drifter, his face obscured by the shadows of his wide-brimmed hat. As the miles rolled by, an oppressive silence descended, broken only by the relentless hum of the engine. Then a sudden jolt, as if the truck had hit an unseen barrier, sent them all sprawling. When they turned to check on their mysterious passenger, he was gone, vanished without a trace, leaving behind only a faint, unsettling chill. 14. The Ghostly Symphony. In a grand old Victorian mansion stood a Steinway grand piano, its ivory keys yellowed with age. It was an heirloom passed down through generations, each note whispering tales of the past. But those who played it soon discovered a haunting secret. For, as the music swelled, so did the spectre of a long-dead composer who had poured his soul into every composition. His ghost, a translucent figure clad in a moth-eaten velvet smoking jacket, would glide through the house, drawn by the enchanting melody, and when the final chord echoed, he vanished, leaving the living to wonder if they'd ever hear the haunting strains of his unfinished symphony again. 13. The Sinister Scarecrow. In a remote village nestled amidst rolling hills stood an ancient oak, its gnarled branches clawing at the sky like skeletal fingers. Beneath it hung a scarecrow, its straw-stuffed limbs bound tight with twine. It was a silent sentinel guarding the fields, its painted face frozen in a grotesque grin. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, the scarecrow came alive, animated by some unholy force. Its eyes, once painted buttons, gleamed with malevolent intent, and its stitched smile widened into a horrifying leer. It stalked through the village, its rustling clothes sounding like death whispers, seeking out the pure of heart and draining them of their life force. Only the rising sun could banish the scarecrow back to its post, leaving the villagers to wonder how many more souls it would claim before they could stop it. 12. The Unquiet Grave. A young couple strolled through the old cemetery, hand in hand, their laughter echoing among the weathered tombstones. But their light-hearted mood evaporated when they reached a freshly dug grave. A chill wind suddenly swept across the graveyard, rustling the dead leaves into a frenzy and whispering secrets from beyond the grave. And then from beneath the cold, hard stone, a skeletal hand clawed its way upward, followed by a ghastly face contorted in a silent scream. The lovers fled, their screams swallowed by the night, as the reanimated corpse stumbled from its grave, forever doomed to roam the earth, seeking the solace it could never find. 11. The Whispering Walls. In a secluded cabin nestled deep within the woods, a writer sought solace and inspiration. But as the days passed, a disquieting soundtrack to his solitude became the cabin's whispering walls. At first, they murmured softly, sharing tales of the forest and its creatures. But as the writer delved deeper into his work, the whispers grew louder, seeping into his dreams and tainting his every waking moment. Were they guiding him to some hidden truth, or trying to drive him to the edge of reason? As the line between sanity and madness blurred, he found himself questioning everything, even his own sanity, until the whispers became a deafening roar and he fled the cabin, forever haunted by the secrets it held. 10. The Uninvited Guest. A family gathered around their dining room table, their faces illuminated by candlelight, sharing stories and laughter. But their merriment was shattered by an uninvited guest, a shadowy figure that materialized in the corner, its eyes gleaming with malevolent intent. Panic surged through the room as the family huddled together, their pleas for mercy ignored. The entity glided closer, its touch freezing their blood, and whispered chilling secrets from beyond the grave. And when the first rays of sunlight pierced the darkness, it vanished, leaving behind a profound sense of dread and the knowledge that they would never be truly safe. 9. The Mirror Man. In a dusty antique shop, a tarnished mirror hung on the wall, its surface clouded with age and neglect. It was an unremarkable piece, but to those who gazed into its depths, it revealed a haunting secret. For within its warped reflection, a ghostly figure lurked, a skeletal man clad in a tattered suit, his face contorted in an eternal scream. He beckoned with finger-like claws, dragging anyone who met his gaze into the mirror's ethereal realm. And those who fell victim to his silent call were never seen again, their souls trapped forever in the mirror's labyrinthine depths. 8. In a dimly lit room, a group of friends gathered around a table, their faces pale in the flickering candlelight. They had come for a séance, seeking contact with the spirit world, but what they unleashed was far beyond their control. A spectral presence filled the room, shaking the very foundations of their reality. With each passing moment, the spirits grew stronger, their voices echoing through the room, sharing tales of their earthly existence and their untimely demise. But as the séance continued, the spirits grew agitated, their whispers turning into screams, and the friends fled, forever haunted by the echoes of the restless dead. 7. The Doll's Demise. In an attic filled with forgotten treasures, a young girl discovered an antique doll, its porcelain face cracked and staring, its dress faded and torn. But as she held the doll, she felt a surge of dark energy coursing through her veins, an evil presence that seemed to emanate from its lifeless eyes. As days passed, the doll became increasingly malevolent, its presence growing stronger, whispering insidious thoughts and driving her to acts of cruelty. And when the girl finally snapped, the doll stood silently by, its malevolent grin a chilling reminder of the darkness that had consumed her. 6. The Shadow Creature. In the dense foliage of a primeval forest, a lone hiker stumbled upon a clearing bathed in an ethereal glow, and there in the center stood a towering creature formed from the shadows themselves, its eyes burning with an otherworldly light. With each step it took, the forest grew darker, the trees twisting into gnarled claws, reaching for the sky, and as it advanced, the hiker's hope of escape dwindled, knowing that if the creature caught him, he would be consumed by the encroaching darkness forever. 5. The Abandoned Asylum. On a desolate stretch of land stood an abandoned asylum, its crumbling facade hiding a legacy of pain and suffering. Those who dared to enter its decaying halls were met with a chilling spectacle, the ghosts of former patients wandering aimlessly, their tormented souls trapped within its walls. Down darkened corridors they shuffled, their hollow eyes reflecting the flickering flames of their eternal torment, and those who listened closely could hear their whispers, tales of unimaginable horrors, begging to be set free from their eternal prison. 4. The Haunted Painting. In a grand estate adorned with priceless artifacts, a portrait hung on the wall, its subject's eyes following visitors with unnerving intensity. It was an oil painting, a masterpiece from a bygone era, but it harbored a sinister secret, for within its gilded frame, a malevolent spirit resided, its essence entwined with the canvas. When night fell, the spirit's presence grew, twisting the painting's features into a mask of pure evil, and those who gazed into its eyes too long were ensnared by its supernatural gaze, their souls forever trapped in the painting's mesmerizing depths. 3. The Ancient Curse. Deep within a labyrinthine cave, explorers discovered an ancient altar inscribed with cryptic symbols, a relic from a forgotten civilization. But their discovery unleashed a dormant curse, awakening a malevolent entity slumbering beneath the earth. With newfound power, the entity began to wreak havoc, manipulating the elements and preying on the explorers' deepest fears. Trapped within the cave's unforgiving embrace, they fought for survival, desperately seeking a way to break the curse before it consumed them entirely. 2. The Cemetery Gate. In an old cemetery, wrought iron gates stood as the final barrier between the living and the dead. Their intricate design, a testament to a bygone era. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, the gates began to creak open, revealing a path to the spectral realm. Ghosts emerged, their forms shimmering in the twilight, and made their way into the world of the living, seeking solace or perhaps revenge, and those who witnessed their ethereal procession knew that they were witnessing a realm where the veil between worlds was at its thinnest. 1. The Experiment. In a secluded laboratory, a mad scientist conducted forbidden experiments, seeking to unlock the secrets of life and death. But his insatiable curiosity led him to perform an unholy ritual, merging flesh and technology in an attempt to create a new form of life. What he unleashed was a horrifying abomination, a creature of nightmare, its body a patchwork of wires, steel and human flesh. With each twitching movement, it grew stronger, its eyes blazing with malevolent intent, determined to break free from its confines and unleash chaos upon the world. So there you have it, listeners. 15 chilling horror stories to haunt your nights. Which tale left you trembling in fear? Share your thoughts below. And remember, sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that linger in our minds long after we've heard them. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the abyss. If you dare, stay tuned for more spine-tingling adventures. Until next time, may your nights be filled with peaceful dreams and not haunted by nightmares.